Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to our continuing series on Lego project ideas. Again, you can turn up the speed of these videos to kind of blast through them. And again, these are ideas for you to kind of get through your head about how to build stuff and not to copy, right? So use your own ideas, but use the skills we talk about. So one of the cool things we haven't done yet is a curve pattern. I'm going to use that to make for my beach scene. I think I want to make a little beach chair for like one of those lounge chairs kind of things for my people at the beach. So I'm going to start by what I've done before, which is I've taken my building block, duplicated it. I called it chair because I'm going to use that, and make a pattern kind of like we did for the car. So make my rectangular pattern. This time I think I'm going to go 1 inch in. Oh, my entity to pattern is that. My direction to go is that. I'm going to make it two of them at 1 inch. And I need to go another direction, a second direction, and go that direction at 3 inches. I think. Which way is it going? Oh, I see. It went. Oh, okay. I'm still on the first one. So I'm going to go 1 inch that way. Okay, but my other one, I'm going to get 2 instances. I'm going to go 3 inches that way. Let's see how that goes. I think that's going to work out. All right, cool. Now, use that as my little base here. Now, one thing I forgot about is I did want to cut those off a little bit or make them rectangular. I think I can do that in a little bit different way. Okay, I know how I'm going to do that. Now that I've got that pattern, I'm actually going to take and reduce those a little bit. I believe that I can take them and use the thicken command, and I think that I can take them and remove. There we go. That's what I want to do. Now it's removing 0.25 inches. That leaves, I think that's leaving enough to connect with. Cool. That's what I wanted to do. All right. Now, I should have done that with the first one because now I'm not going to have anything to pattern. I wonder if I can move that up. Yes, and delete this pattern. Okay, cool. That still worked out. All right. Lots of thoughts. So again, going to make mistakes in these videos, but that's part of the process, right? So I'm going to sketch in the edge of this thing. View normal. I want to make a little platform, and this will hopefully come clear at some point where I want to come up here ish, come over. I think I'm going to make that 0.125. Call that 0.125. That's the only one that I care about how long it is. I'll come just above that piece so I incorporate that because I'm going to make that part of the solid. Back to here. Okay, and then I'm going to finish that and extrude this. Go the other direction. I want to add it, and I'm going to go up to face, and I want it to go up to that face. All right, cool. Now, I'm going to pattern this, but I'm only going to pattern it once because I want it symmetrical. So I'm going to rectangular pattern this. Want that entity. I'm going to go in that linear direction. I'm going to go 3 inches again. Whoops. I don't know what just happened. I want to go 3 inches. There we go. All right, now I'm going to mirror that. So I need to remember that it's symmetrical in 0.5. This is 0.5, so I need a plane that would be 0.25 away because it needs to be half of one of them. Right, because if this is 0.5, 0.25, another 0.25 would be 0.5, and then there's another one. So that's the way it works. Had to do a little math there. All right, so we are going to now we're going to mirror, and I don't want a part mirror. I want a feature mirror. I'm going to mirror this, well, I'm going to mirror all of it. No, I'm going to do a part mirror. That's my bad. I'm going to mirror both of these parts around this mirror plane. Okay, there we go. So kind of like the car we made, there's my little part. Now I'm going to talk about why I did these little things that are sticking up. So this is where I think this is going to come clean. I'm going to draw a sketch. I've kind of all planned this in my head about where I was going with this ahead of time. So this is going to be my lounge chair. I'm going to make a spline curve that starts kind of out here, and it goes up to about where the knees are, right? And then it comes down a bit, down a bit. And then it has kind of a higher back. And then it kind of slopes out a little bit. So there's my beach chair. All right, and escape inset. Now, I'm going to offset this whole thing. And about 0.25 is about right. Cool. Now I want to take this and move it just a little bit. Well, it doesn't want to move. Let's see if I can move this, pull this down. See if I can take these entities and move them. I forget how to move stuff. There's a way of moving a bunch of things at one time, but I can't seem to do that. I'm going to pause, and then I know what was going on. I wasn't in the sketch. I got to be in the sketch. Now you can take things and move them. It'll even show you. Look, as if I hover around enough, it'll say no. It'll give me that. Oh, that's moving that thing. There we go. Okay, I can move it just a little bit. Move that a little bit. Move this a little bit. Lounge it just a little bit more. All right. Now, I'm going to show you why I did what I just did. Now, before I finish my sketch, I've got to close these things off because I need to make a profile. There we go. Cool. Now, I'm going to extrude this profile. I'm going to go the other direction, and I'm going to go that same 0.125 that I created earlier. Okay. Now, I want to add that if it lets me. It won't let me because it's not touching the part. And it says, hey, you can't add something that isn't touching this. So that's okay. I'll make a new part for now. Now, here's a little tricky thing that you can do is we're going to extrude. I'm going to extrude this surface right here, but I'm going to go, instead of blind and I'm going to go up to next, which means it's going to go hit that part. I'm going to add it. Okay. Oh boy, it doesn't like adding it again. That's okay. We can make it new. We'll just change all this stuff to make it all part of the same part later on. Do the same thing with this. I'm going to extrude that. I'm going to go to next, up to next, and I'll automatically become part of that kind of thing. Okay, so there's the edge of my little lawn chair. All right, I'm going to try again to get these things that are all here now to be part of one part. Now, these guys aren't here touching, so, but I do want to try and connect these last guys together. So let's try and do that. Take parts. Just kind of work a little bit at a time. And let's see, where's parts? I want part 6 and part 5 to be together. So let's do that. And have those connected. Okay, and then I want whatever part that is, part 2 and part 5 to be together. So let's do that. Part 2 and part 5. All right, so I'm kind of getting there. Let's see what part that is. That's part 5. That's part 1. And that's part 2. I'm going to Boolean those guys together. Oh, you can select them all at the same time. Okay, cool. So yeah, that's starting to work. Now we'll get these two later because they have to be touching. All right, now in my original one, I'm adding this video in to where I messed up on the other one. I had done this and I had sketched here and I'd made this rectangle that only touched here and then didn't touch anywhere else. And what happens is it can only be a separate part because it only touches in one place and doesn't share a solid. So I'm getting smarter this time. So I'm going to come down here a little bit into this guy and then go both inside and outside of it to make these little rungs. So these rungs are going to be kind of like, you know, the slats of a chair here. So I'm going to try and make it kind of parallel to that, but I'm going to have it come in a little bit. All right, about like that. That's close enough to parallel for me. Now, it's important that it came in because it needs to become part of that piece. All right, cool. So now I'm going to extrude that shape. That and the little piece below it and that. But I'm going to go the other direction and we're going to go to, not blind, we're going to go up to a face and I'm going to choose that plane. All right, good. Now it's part of that piece. Now, that is an extrusion right there. That last extrude. I'm not sure why it's highlighting everything. That last extrusion is just, oh, that's kind of weird that it's showing all of that. All right, well, we'll play around with that and see what happens. I hope it doesn't move everything. All right, so here's what I want to do. I want to take this. Oh, I see, because it connected it. Okay, now I think I see what's going on. These Booleans happened before extrude 8. Let me see if I can drag extrude 8 up before those Booleans happened. Nope, doesn't like it. If it's red, it doesn't work. Okay. So I might have to delete the Boolean features. We'll see what happens. So I'm going to try it first. Okay, I'm going to do this next thing called a curve pattern, but I want to do a feature pattern. So I'm going to take extrude 8 and go along this curved path. Now, it's probably, yeah, see, it wants to mimic both of those things. So that's not going to work. I have to isolate this. And so here's what's going to happen. I'm going to have to take extrude 8 and say I want it to be a new part. It's just what's going to happen. And we'll Boolean it to make it part of everything else later. So now, curved pattern. We've done circular patterns. We've done other patterns. I'm going to take, I want to add, if I can, it might not let me, this last part, and I want to pattern along this path. Now it's showing me one at the end, but again, it's showing red. That red means it's not going to work that way. I'm going to have to make new. All right. Now it's sticking off of the end because of where I started. That's okay. I can fix that later or just remove this one instance. And now I want my instance count to be like, let's try 15 and see how that looks. Oh, that looks pretty good. Like it. Let's try like 18 and see how that looks. Cool. I like that. All right. So that looks pretty cool. All right. So that pattern is now created all these separate parts, though. That's kind of a drag. But I should be able to take from the very last one, that one right there, and go down to the bottom of my list, hold the shift key down, and select the last one and Boolean them all together to make them one part. Boy, didn't like that. And I should be able to take them all and make them a part of, maybe I needed to choose whatever part this is, part 3. Let's try that. So we're going to go part 3 all the way through part 21. Oh, there we go. Cool. I don't know why I didn't do that last one. Well, yes, I do, because it didn't like that it's only touching it. Technically, there's no connection there. It's just two surfaces together. So here's how we can fix that. I'm going to thicken that surface, out there. It's that amount is fine. Okay, now we should be able to take that part and this part, which is part 4, and that part, which is part 3, and Boolean those together. There we go. And it became the same thing. Now we're going to do that again with the rest of it, and should be able to now take my parts 2 or part 3, and we're going to do a mirror. So I'm going to mirror. I'm going to do a part mirror. The part I want to mirror is part 3, and my mirror plane is going to be that plane that we had mirrored those on before. Cool. Why did it make it 2 separate parts? I went to that plane before. That is really bizarro. All right, well, let me go back and undo that. And I'll go back to where my original extrude. Well, that's okay. I think what we can do is I'm going to now mirror, but I want that part. And instead of the plane that's here, I'll just choose that plane. It's still making separations. Oh, I want to add. That's why it was doing it before. Okay. Fair enough. Oh, cool. All right. That's looking pretty slick. Now I'm going to go ahead and Boolean all these things together to make one part. All right, and it turned it back to its original green. That's pretty cool. Little lawn chair. All right, I'm proud of that. That happens. I think I'm going to change my appearance. I don't know. What do we want to make this? Kind of a blue. Oh, there we go. Columbia blue chair. Nice little lawn chair that will snap. Turn off that plane. It's way up there because it's annoying me. I don't like leaving those things on. All right. Lawn chair. Cool. All right. Hope something like this will work out for you. You could, use the same concept making a roller coaster, all sorts of different things. So hope it worked out for you. Enjoy. See you next time.